Yo, what's up, Medi? How's it going, bro? How's everyone doing today? Good to see you. I need to turn some things back on. I had recordings that I was doing. There we go. I think all that's back on this screen. And this screen. What even is that? Oh, I know what that is. This. 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 And this. And now that I turned all that stuff back on, we can do this. Guys, please go follow my friend Medicated Outrage. Chill ass 420 friendly streamer. It's good to see you, bro. Good to see all of you. Let me get the new unified chat up. There we go. I'm gonna crack a Coke open and get started on this. So I have no idea what's going on, but apparently Limp Bizkit is still alive. Who knew? And he filed or is responding to some lawsuit. Usually when there's a music artist in a lawsuit with a record label, it's them suing their record label. So let's see what happens here. Is this the one? Yeah, we'll watch this one first because I'm on it now and I already did an intro. Why is it going through the wrong speakers? Alright.
Limp Bizkit just suffered a devastating blow in their lawsuit against Universal. I felt like this might be coming based on what has happened. I'm curious to see if Limp Bizkit even keeps going in its lawsuit.
Why are all
What
YouTube videos different volume?
And also talk about what just happened.
YouTube should automatically normalize that shit.
We're actually going to go through the court's order. But if you are new, hi, I'm a lawyer. I've been lawyering for over 10 years. I've been in music myself, essentially since I was 4. I'm very passionate about music business education, so that's why I started this channel. If you're excited, don't forget to subscribe, and let's jump into it. So,
you said since she was 4.
And Fred Durst had sued Universal, right? One of the largest record labels in the world. And it was a notable lawsuit because of many things, including the alleged failure to pay Limp Bizkit was in the amount of $200 million in unpaid royalties. And then one of the facts here is that we have a band that signed with a label back in the 90s. Now, there were a couple different agreements. We'll go through it. But essentially, Limp Bizkit does its deals in the 90s and then allegedly is claiming as a part of the lawsuit that they have never received a single penny from royalties, which is just pretty jaw-dropping. Now, we kind of speculated on behalf of the label, which we hadn't heard.
A lot of that's kind of standard, especially for old artists. I don't know. By the 90s, that should have kind of been partially fixed, but that's why so many musical artists used to tour like crazy, because they actually wouldn't receive any money from their record sales. So they had to tour because the only way that they made money was by selling merch and selling tickets to shows.
Heard from just yet. Well, if the label was unrecouped, right? That's how this works. You sign with a record label, they become the glorified bank with lots of promises to make you a big star. Allegedly, it all.
Yeah, that's another thing. So the unrecouped she was talking about, when a label funds your album, they get paid first. That album needs to make all the money that they spent on it before they pay you a dime.
All worked out for Limp Bizkit. They became big stars, and the label fronts all the cash. But it's not a gift. those amounts are recoupable from the earnings from Limp Bizkit's. Usually it's their share of earnings. So it's recoupable one way or another pursuant to the controlling contract. So that's why a band or an artist signed with a label may not actually receive any kind of royalty for a really long time. So then we go, well, if Limp Bizkit has like 3 decades of working with this label and hasn't received any royalties whatsoever, you're telling me that, I don't know, the label must have fronted what, $50 million? The band also claims that Universal had designed and implemented royalty software and systems that were deliberately designed to conceal artist royalties and keep their profits for itself. AKA, Universal's system to just get signed up to get your royalties is such a pain in the butt. It is almost impossible for artists to actually meaningfully use. And I was like, I can at least give my personal experience on this, and that I literally set up one of these accounts for one of my clients because they were kind of having a hard time. It wasn't super intuitive. There were lots of steps. So I'm like, okay, I can see why they're making this claim. And then amongst the giant claims by the band was asking for rescission of the contract. So meaning asking that the contracts essentially be undone, or were in fact already undone, voided, so to speak, because they're like, well, you never paid us anything, and so therefore there's no performance on the contract, therefore we get to get out of the contracts. So then on our last update, what we did is we're like, hey, Universal responded, and Universal filed a motion to dismiss saying, hey, court, for all this long list of reasons, you need to kick out Limp Bizkit's lawsuit altogether. Universal pointed to a whole bunch of things. There's like issues of jurisdiction. Hey,
I didn't see the previous videos. This is the first video regarding this that I've seen. So I'm glad she's doing a quick recap.
At least pursuant to one of the contracts, they were supposed to bring this in a different court, saying, no, we in fact have paid Limp Bizkit millions and millions of dollars in advances. We'll talk about that. As I was reading,
so that one right there was a big one before that.
Into one of the contracts, they were supposed to bring this in a different court, saying, no.
Right there. Okay. And the second thing is big too. They said they paid them in advances. If they have documentation to prove that Limp Bizkit might actually be hung here. One of the big things though, one of the most common reasons I've seen court cases get dismissed is because of improper venue, which means like you shouldn't have filed this case here, you should have filed it somewhere else.
It's lawsuit altogether. Universal pointed to a whole bunch of things. There's like issues of jurisdiction. Hey, at least pursuant to one of the contracts, they were supposed to bring this in a different court, saying, no, we in fact have paid Limp Bizkit millions and millions of dollars in advances. We'll talk about that. As I was reading through this, I go, look, procedurally, this is how it can just be devastating to a plaintiff. So meaning Limp Bizkit in this case, right out the gate. Because if you're successful on a motion for summary judgment, there's also what's called a motion for judgment on the pleadings. You get your case almost entirely thrown out or partially thrown out. We were holding our breaths a little bit for Limp Bizkit, and now we have an update. Okay, so this lawsuit is in the federal court in California, and so this is the court's order. So before the court was a motion to dismiss, which was filed by Universal. Defendant challenges the sufficiency of the complaint and just says, there's a whole bunch of problems with this complaint. So, Your Honor, based on the problems with the complaint itself, we want you to basically just throw this thing out. So the first thing that I'm going to point out is that the court made this decision without oral argument, which again, devastating. The federal court in California reserves the right to do this pursuant to the federal rules of civil procedure, Rule 78, as well as local rules. But anyway, just to be like, look, I have everything that I need based on the papers that everyone has filed, and I'm not going to hear additional oral argument on this. And because there were so many issues, I'm really surprised that the court did this, but obviously the court felt empowered to make this decision. So let's see what
it's California. California just does whatever the fuck they want.
The court had to say. All right, Durst is a performer, controlling member of rock band Limp Bizkit, and the owner of Flawless. Plaintiff's claims revolve around 3 agreements, right? So 3 contracts. 2 of those agreements involve the production, manufacture, distribution of songs, recordings, featuring Limp Bizkit. So there was one in 1996, there was another in December of 2000, and in which case it was actually with Interscope, which is a subsidiary of Universal. So this was the recording agreement under which Interscope released subsequent Limp Bizkit recordings. So the first agreement was the Flip Agreement. The Flip Agreement and its amendments provided that plaintiffs would receive advances on the royalty payments provided for in the Flip Agreement. And then there was a third agreement, which was in 99, and this was an agreement basically tasking Durst and Limp Bizkit to like find other acts to sign. Right? And then they get a little incentive for doing that. Now, as part of these agreements, what typically comes, especially if it's a band that has negotiating power, and Limp Bizkit was doing real well, right, is an advance. An advance is a lump sum paid by the record label that has to be paid back, aka it's like a loan. And one such advance was $7 million. So we go, well, is it possible?
That's another way that they get you. Especially, it seems to happen a lot in the hip hop industry, where like some kid will get signed to a record label after dropping his mixtape, and they give him a signing bonus. This signing bonus is usually an advance, which means you got to put out a certain number of records, and they have to do well enough to cover that. Otherwise, you owe the label money.
That the record label has spent so much money on advances to the band, on marketing over the years, because marketing can be in the millions of dollars per album.
Yeah, marketing is huge.
In or around,
especially for Limp Bizkit. They had a lot of stuff going on. Like, I'm sure they made a lot of money for UMG, but they also probably made UMG spend a lot of money too.
Early April of 24, Durst retained new representation and explained that he had not received any money from Universal for any Limp Bizkit exploitations. Plaintiff's new business manager contacted defendant on April 9, 2024, stating that plaintiffs had not received any royalty statements and requesting access to Universal's portal to view them. Now, one of the things in the motion to dismiss that Universal filed that was like, ooh, yikes, is that part of the complaints like, hey, you guys never told us there was money, you haven't paid us anything. And what Universal responded with is like, oh yeah, actually, we reached out to your manager like a year before you filed this thing. And we said, hey, we have money for Durst. We have money for Limp Bizkit. And he said, oh, no, they've sold their rights. And so basically no need to issue the payment. So that was a bit of a yikes, if true. Once plaintiff's business manager viewed.
That is a big oof if that's actually true. If they sold the rights. If you sell the rights to your royalties, you don't get your royalties anymore.
The portal and discovered that the accounts had balances of excess of 1.1 million. They requested the funds. Plaintiff responded by requesting that plaintiff fill out forms to receive payment. So this was a part of the complaint. It is normal. It is such a pain in the butt. But like a lot of labels, you have distributors, businesses that you work with, before they send you payment, often they're like, hey, I need you to complete a W-9, send that to me. It usually has, right, your tax ID or your EIN, has just a couple little details about you so that we can then issue a 1099 to you. So again, it's just these additional steps, these additional forms that have to be.
It takes 2 hours, max, maybe less. I'm sure there are people that can do it in 15 minutes. You know, like tax experts, but it's like an afternoon of work to do that, which is significant. But when we're talking about getting $1 million payout here for an afternoon of work, like, just submit the paperwork, you know?
To be filled out, which can make this a struggle to just get your account set up. The complaint also alleges that defendant failed to provide royalty statements for many periods, including all these years, and that the royalty statements reviewed by plaintiff's managers suspiciously show unrecouped balances and what plaintiffs allege are fraudulent accounting practices.
Interesting.
I'll tell you, as a practicing music lawyer, record labels and music businesses in general are notorious for inflating expenses, for cooking the books. And
I'm
where
sure.
it becomes challenging for us is really in just the financial capacity of someone to take this, right? Not just into a lawsuit, but if you pre-lawsuit want to audit someone's books, you're looking at $5,000, $10,000 to go through that process. So there's just a chain of events that I can speak to, which is you got to start with the contract that actually says you have auditing rights. The statement is supposed to say so many things when they send it to you. Sometimes that all gets missed. So it's, you come back and you're like, I haven't gotten a statement. I'm like, well, your contract says you don't get a statement. That wasn't the case here, okay? So they go, you were required to give us statements. You didn't for all these years. And then the statements that we do see, there's something real suspicious going on. On July 15th, 2024, counsel for plaintiffs sent a letter.
I feel like you need to be able to prove there's fraudulent activity if you're going to claim that, though. So that could be another pitfall. If they don't really have proof, if it's just speculation of fraudulent activity, that might not strengthen their case. A lot of people go too hard, right? Like, why did they put Al Capone away for tax fraud when he probably murdered or tax evasion? When he probably murdered or ordered the murder of dozens of people at least, or he spent years, I think it was primary alcohol, selling contraband. It's because that was the easiest for them to prove. Like, the legal system's really fucked up.
Universal, alleging that Universal had grossly underpaid plaintiffs with respect with their royalties. Now, here's the thing. There was a demand for payment, and then Universal, which is usually what happens if you hire a lawyer and they send a big scary demand letter, it usually gets someone to do what they were supposed to do in the first place, right? So now Universal's on its toes, and it's like, we're gonna release the payment in 1 to 2 weeks. And in fact, they did. And my understanding is that Limp Bizkit and or Durst did not reject the money. It's so important that you don't allow someone to pay you where they're like, oh no, this is the money, here you go. Don't take it. Don't keep it in your account, right? We have to do things to not give the other side an argument to be like, you accepted it. It was acceptance of the payment, which can create issues with arguing, well, it was the wrong amount. I actually don't accept it. You see what I'm saying? The court points to in the contract, there was a 30-day cure period. That's pretty common for entertainment contracts. So they would just say, look, there's not going to be any default or material breach unless we say it to each other and then we give each other an opportunity to cure whatever the problem is. And then, and only then, can there be a claim of a material breach. So the reason this matters to you is because you have to paper your communications. You need to put an email together. You need to have text communications. Meaning if you have a contract and someone's done something they shouldn't, you need to put together notice in a written format, especially if the
This is one of the reasons I hate phone calls. One, I'm really bad at understanding people on phone calls. I think it's a combination of two things. One is that I'm a visual person. So when I'm listening to someone talk, I like to be able to watch their face. Two, it's because a lot of people are just really bad at using phones. They're either constantly walking away from the phone, they're holding it too close to their face or too far away from their face. It's changing constantly. There's a lot of background noise. I feel like most 20-minute, they're also a huge waste of time. It's the third thing usually. Most 20-minute phone calls I've been on could have been a 30-second text, And then there's also the whole fucking phone tag thing. Like, I hate all the phone tag bullshit. And just send a text message, send an email. Oh, and the whole reason why I started this little rant is because I love having proof of that shit, Everyone's a fucking liar these days.
The contract says that you have to do that. On August 26, 2024, which was more than 30 days, Limp Bizkit received over $1 million in back royalties. Flawless also received over $2 million in back profits from Universal. And then plaintiff served defendant with a formal notice of rescission. So saying, look, you have not performed under the contract. We believe that the contracts are void. And if they're void, you no longer have copyright and ownership over the music. So therefore, copyright infringement. Guys, this is a really big piece. There's a mechanism under the copyright.
I hate to say it, but it sounds like what happened is Limp Bizkit is trying to find a legal loophole to get control of their music, which I don't really blame them for doing that, but I don't think that's going to go down too well.
Copyright Act for statutory damages, and that's where you get these big buckets of money where they're just set out by law of just if there's willful copyright infringement, we get up to $150,000 per instance of infringement. So then you have a plaintiff who comes along and says, well, therefore I am entitled to $150,000 times all the times you infringed my copyright. So therefore we usually can get up into the millions of dollars. All right, so Limp Bizkit, Durst, in the complaint alleged all these different claims: breach of contract, bad faith.
That's a lot.
Each of the separate agreements: breach of fiduciary duty, copyright infringement, promissory fraud, and then Universal responded with the motion to dismiss. Now, in all those claims that I just went through, you can be in federal court if there is a federal question. So in this case, it's copyright infringement. So that's how we get into federal court. But some of the state law claims, they carry into the federal court, even though it really should be heard by like a state court. But there's jurisdiction in order for the court to hear everything because they're like, hey, judicial efficiency, we need to do it all together. So that's how that happens.
Yeah.
So here in the court's analysis, the parties agree that viability of the copyright claim, which is the sole basis for the court's subject matter jurisdiction, depends on whether the complaint's rescission claim is viable. Indeed, in response to the court's order to show cause why it should exercise supplemental jurisdiction over the state law claims, defendants stated that the court should dismiss the rescission claim for failure to state a claim. The court goes on, plaintiff seeks rescission of the contracts that have governed the parties' relationship for almost 30 years because the agreements should be rescinded as fraudulently induced because Universal never had any intention to comply with its contractual obligations to pay royalties. And then the court cites to the Ninth Circuit, so under federal and state law, a material breach of a licensing agreement gives rise to a right of rescission. So just meaning this really can happen. So it allows the non-breaching party, so in this case it would be Limp Bizkit, to terminate because they're like, hey, the other side didn't do what they were going to do. They didn't do what they promised at all. But a breach will justify rescission of a licensing agreement only when it is of so material and substantial to a nature that it affects the very essence of the contract and serves to defeat the object of the parties. The breach must constitute a total failure in the performance of the contract. So the court goes on in its order to point to the fact
that's
that
a pretty high bar.
Had paid millions in actual dollars to the band, right? We have signing bonuses, we have other things being paid. So the court concludes that it cannot come to this like total failure, no performance whatsoever, because there was performance to a degree. So unfortunately, the band loses on that claim. And then because the copyright infringement claims were based.
Yeah, so the whole thing was only in federal court because of that one claim. So this is going to fuck everything.
Based on the rescission claims, those unfortunately are being dismissed as well. Now, the 12 other claims weren't specifically addressed in the court's order, but what the court did is to say, look, as it relates to these 3 claims, we're going to give you an opportunity to amend your complaint. And this is in order to actually litigate, like to keep the case in federal court, because we lose copyright, we're out, we got to go to state court now and essentially start over. Now, again, we talked about you sign with a record label. Industry standard is that when you sign with a record label, the deal is that you are giving ownership to your music to the record label. And so that's why it was really important. If these recording agreements could be voided, rescinded, then the band Durst gets the ownership of the music back, which is a huge deal. Even for, our biggest rock stars or Taylor Swifts of the world.
I told you that's what they want.
They go, I really wish I owned my music. And here's the thing. Limp Bizkit already had a huge uphill battle, specifically with that claim of rescission, to say that there has been no performance whatsoever by Universal, because obviously they've been doing something. I would imagine that Limp Bizkit may have wanted to bring these claims earlier, such as in the first decade of the relationship, if there truly had been no performance. But I mean, you know, for a band that sold, what, 45 million records throughout their career, of course.
Right, and I bet you if I go, well, I don't know. Are they on Spotify? Not everyone's on Spotify. That's not Spotify. I'm setting down my... Go away. Go away. I think Spotify had to install an update. I saw the Spotify install. Excuse me. Pop up for a sec. All right, there it is. Let's see. There it is. Limp Bizkit. So that means UMG's definitely done something, because you need to pay a distributor to get your music on Spotify. So unless Limp Bizkit did that themselves, which I doubt they did, then UMG's definitely not done nothing, which is basically what their claim was, to dismiss the contract. Rescission of the contract, that's the word.
It was absolutely shocking to hear that the band had not received any royalties whatsoever from its record label. So as it relates to just now, we have all what's left over is essentially you didn't account properly, you've withheld allegedly something like $200 million of royalties that you should have been paying to us. You also intentionally designed and implemented an accounting system that is impossible for us to use. And there was this bigger comment about it's not just...
That part I really absolutely believe. Black hat design is so insanely common these days. Black hat design is when you intentionally design like a web portal or something like that to make it difficult to use on purpose. That's why a lot of those subscription websites, you got to go through like 5 different pages to cancel your subscription. That's not just someone incompetent designing the website. It's someone designing the website on purpose to confuse you or frustrate you before you manage to unsubscribe. So I would not be surprised if UMG intentionally made the website confusing or frustrating to prevent people from signing up and claiming their money.
Just us. We think that this is implemented for this reason of preventing a more widespread inability for artists on the Universal platform to receive their royalties. So all that to say, Limp Bizkit is not completely down and out, okay? So they have 2 things that are going to happen here. One, their attorney is going to scramble and try to figure out a basis to reassert copyright infringement claims, because the court said no can do. We're not going to rescind the contracts. So then what would it be? Well, if you're going to assert copyright infringement, it would be, well, did at any point Universal exercise rights maybe to the composition, not the actual sound recordings that Universal owns, but the side that would be retained by Durst, by Limp Bizkit, which would be the composition side. If I'm this attorney and I want to keep this case in federal court, I'm going to be scrambling. But it's not just the federal court thing. It's the...
Personally, I think they should look into AI. With how much AI bullshit there is going on right now, and AI being kind of a legal gray area, if they can find that if in any way... I would also look at other artists, but we'll get to that in a second. If they can find that in any way UMG used their stuff in some kind of AI venture, that's a good start. The other thing that they would have is if they could find a band that UMG signed, which before signing or around the time of signing didn't sound like Limp Bizkit, but over time upon being signed, became more into like that whole rap rock, rap metal style, because that got really popular. Limp Bizkit started a huge wave of new metal. And if they could find another artist that came along after them and they could find similar close enough songs, they could say like, yeah, like they tried to replace us. This is copyright infringement. Maybe they have a chance there. I'm sure there are other avenues that are more lawyerly that an actual music lawyer would pursue. But just off the top of my head, those are kind of the two big things. But I have no idea if UMG has done anything with AI. I just know that AI music law is kind of fucked right now. So if there was anything going on with there, that would be a good chance for them.
What are our damages? Because it's going to be, now you're limited to proving that there's been spaghetti accounting, as I like to say, fraudulent misrepresentations, the inflating of the books. So it becomes a matter of becoming...
And as I said earlier, that gets really difficult to prove. Because a lot of times, even if you find evidence, they can say, oh, well, it was just incompetence. We didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. Like the guys on Kick that and get 16-year-old girls to flash them.
Extremely strategic now, and this is why these motions to dismiss can be so devastating right at the front of the case. Now here's the thing, the pot of money for the statutory damages related to copyright infringement may be gone. The attorney can't come up with a new reason to say there's copyright infringement, fine, those are out. But if Limp Bizkit is correct, and in fact, there has been a withholding of something like $200 million in royalties, well, there you go. And it becomes very much just strategy of, does it make sense for us to continue? Because litigation is extremely expensive and it's taxing on you as well from a mental, emotional kind of standpoint. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think. I mean, is this it for Limp Bizkit? Leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm Tommy's Guitar, Miss Crystal.
You make that rhyme on purpose? Is this it for Limp Bizkit? Alright, let's watch this other thing. We're watching music stuff today. This Fantano guy is like... Oh, did I watch that on my main channel? This Fantano guy is not the main channel, it's just the channel. As long as it's not the main channel. He's a problem. Sometimes. He's a music reviewer that comes out with lots of hot takes. He can be entertaining though. It's really funny. I don't remember who it is, but he pissed some rapper off so bad that the rapper wrote a diss track about him. And he was like, well, I'm not a rapper, so I'm not going to respond. I think maybe he reviewed the diss track of him, which would be hilarious if he had. It's just, the guy always ends up getting in the mix of it somehow. And he's just the guy that listens to music and talks about it on YouTube. So I think it's kind of funny how involved he gets. But let's see what's up with this.
Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here. Do I look tired? I am tired.
You look kind of ratchet, dude. What's that mark under your eye? You look like you've been doing
aggravated,
doing drugs under the bleachers.
Fool around or be silly, because what we're talking about in this video is frankly ridiculous and beyond the pale. Enter one Mr. DJ Akademiks, who we have talked about and also kind of like, you know, referenced and played off of in a silly way on this channel before, imitating his GIF-based video and editing style as he comments on various goings on in the hip hop industry. If you're unfamiliar, though, I don't
Why is
see
my
how
nose
you
running
could
like
be
crazy?
at this point if you're a a hardcore viewer of a music review channel, or rather a music industry commentary channel. Akademiks' platform for years now has been huge, frankly. He's considered to be maybe
I know the name, but I don't really want to know anything about him. Not that I don't want to. I don't know anything about him. That's why I want to watch this video. Just personally, like I couldn't tell you anything Akademiks ever done, but I know I hear the name a lot in the scene.
maybe the most influential voice in hip-hop journalism today. Now, he may have gone
Okay,
about building
that explains
that
it.
rep in a way that I don't necessarily vibe with or respect, but he built it. What I'm trying to say here is that it's been a long time since Akademiks has done anything, in my view, that could genuinely be considered journalism, as I feel like the way he operates in the music industry these days is just him doing anything that he can to basically align himself with whoever is the most powerful, the most influential, just generally building his profile by currying the favor of others, which is how, if you remember, he ended up getting so tied up in this recent Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef because he's essentially reduced himself to being Drake's mouthpiece at this point. Literally,
Oh, that
news,
explains
any
why I don't know
narrative
much
Drake
about
needs
him,
to
because
get out there into
he's a
the
Drake
wider
dick sucker.
world, usually comes by way of Akademiks these days. That's another story for another day, though. What we're talking
I want to read that. Kendrick Lamar deleted his Meet the Grams cover art after realizing Drake sent him on a dummy mission with false information about a daughter. The shirt is a shorty, a joke about Kendrick's height. The Maybach gloves and Ozempic were Rick Ross's. Readers added context they thought people might want to know. Per Apple Music and Spotify guidelines, you may not use someone else's private property as a cover photo without permission. So I guess Akademiks is lying because he got community noted, and it says that he didn't delete it. Basically, the platforms deleted it because he wasn't allowed to use that.
by way of Akademiks these days. That's another story for another day, though. What we're talking about now is something much weirder and much more serious, because this is just beyond any sort of like potential conflict of interest in the music industry. No, what we're talking about today is just pure fucking insanity and depravity, as recently footage has
My stomach's
been
bothering
spread
me.
all across social media of Akademiks talking to a 15-year-old boy, a fellow streamer and content creator, which that in and of itself isn't necessarily a bad or harmful thing. I mean,
no, but the way he said that, it makes you feel like it wasn't necessarily just, hey, the way he said that and the face he's making right now makes you feel like it wasn't just, hey, let me teach you the ropes of the industry. It was more, hey, let me teach you the ropes of the industry the way Diddy taught me type thing. I don't know if Akademiks had anything to do with Diddy, but you get my drift.
Content creation and music continues to be, still to this day, very much a young person's game. And if you are someone who operates in the social media industry and you've got a bit of a legacy career behind you, eventually you are going to cross paths with some younger people. But in
Yeah,
the
it just happens.
in which you find yourself in those contexts, especially when you're dealing,
I probably have a different, not different, but I've got a lot of experience with this because even from a young age, I've kind of been an educator. I used to help out with the youth group at my church, and basically the older children would teach the younger children. I used to be a softball umpire where I would umpire young girls leagues, and I did Upward Bound program, which as a college student I would teach high school students. As a firefighter, we would do community days and all kinds of things like that. So I mean, I do want to hear what he says here. But here's the thing, like, you need adults to teach children. That's just the way it works. But you need trustworthy adults to teach children. You need adults that aren't going to do that shit. And we're not going to say what shit it is because you already know.
Dealing with individuals who are less than half your age, it is upon you.
There are boundaries you have to set. That's what I wanted to say before I got all like wrapped up in my own head. My stomach is killing me. It's making it hard to think. That helped a little bit. You gotta set boundaries. You gotta know. Hey, Charlie. You gotta know what's okay to talk about and what's not okay to talk about. You gotta know. There's just so many things. I don't even know where to start. Let's just let the video play. I want to play Marvel Rivals.
Adult
Hey,
in
cat.
that situation.
Ow.
To conduct yourself with respect and dignity, and not do something like, I don't know, start engaging the kid about his sex life.
So you tell me that there's not another 15-year-old that you could bust down? Yo, bro. Like, I'm serious. So there's not another 15-year-old you could bust down.
Fucking a dude, would you let him fuck you?
No.
Why not? Suppose he's like, yo, bro, listen, yo, you always wanted me to be next to you. Now I could be inside of you. Pause.
Yo, I'm not gay.
What the shit? Alright, so I was gonna say, I do think there's a space for adults to talk with children, teenagers around, but it's in like a sex education space. Not necessarily straight up like going to sex ed class, but it's like you want to inform and educate. The first question, relatively innocuous. But this whole conversation going on in the Fort game right now, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And like,
say,
and like in the context of what they said during the Fortnite game, the first. Why am I even letting you on my lap? You bit me earlier. Get off. Chill, cat. I'm not getting bit by you again today. I don't know why you're being. Oh, get off. I don't know why you're being such an ass today. We were like hanging out earlier. I was just petting him, and he freaking latched onto my arm. He never bites. Like, I don't know what. I think he's just annoyed I've been working a lot. I don't pay massive amounts of attention to. I don't know how much you can see it, but. Yeah, you can see the scratch if I can get it out. He latched onto my arm with like his claws and teeth and everything. Scratched me up pretty good. There's like 3 marks from him. Almost broke the skin out. I don't know what's up with him. He's just been a bit of an ass cat lately.
It's crazy. And
Yes, I'm
what's
talking about you.
even
You can
more
hang out on the
insane
back of the
about
chair, but you're not
footage
sitting on my
that you
lap
just
again
saw
because you bit me.
are, like, the defenses that I've seen of it, or just people generally turning a blind eye, or people honestly just kind of tuning out at this point, because Akademiks in so many scenarios, be it with the Kendrick and Drake stuff, be it with the Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez stuff, has proven himself to be such utter trash.
Meg,
if you want attention, you gotta prove you deserve it.
There's a woman who used to drink, blackout, get drunk, fuck whoever, and then used to be very belligerent and used to be very aggressive. People didn't enjoy your presence. They enjoyed fucking you. You know why Tori likes you? Because Tori don't want to look like a clown. That, like, nothing is really surprising to anyone at this point, and the only people left in his audience are essentially there because he's trash. Him being trash is a feature, not a bug.
Yo,
oh
if
boy.
Max got a sister and she threw you the box, would you smash her?
He already has a sister.
Alright, if she threw you the box, would you smash?
No, because I'm 15.
Yeah, what does that mean?
What I mean?
Okay, what does that mean?
It will be grooming.
Be what?
Grooming.
That has nothing to do with you.
What's your address? I'm gonna send some strippers over there.
Slow down, yo.
Dude, what?
15. I hope you know that, bro. You trying to?
Oh my god. Like,
I'm not skipping. Yo, bro, you trying to put me on a case? You trying to put them on a case?
dude, this is messed up. Like, this kid's kind of aware. Not aware enough to realize he should dip, obviously, if they have so many clips of them together. But holy hell, it just keeps going. It just keeps getting worse.
So?
What you mean, so? That's weird.
Look, I'll admit, I don't understand the full context of how, you know, these conversations that you're seeing here came to be. But honestly,
yeah,
it doesn't fucking matter.
No.
It doesn't fucking
It's like, there's no context that justifies what was said there. He went over way too many lines.
matter. What's even funnier is in one of these clips, Akademiks is asking him about his potential sexual interest in a girl who is, I guess, 18 or older than 18. And this kid says, no.
That would be grooming.
That age gap would be grooming, or it would be statutory.
Yeah.
Again, this kid is less than half than Akademiks' age, and he's got more fucking sense than Akademiks does.
Right?
You're one of those Kendrick fans who are upset that, you know, I'm sorry, Drake still is giving BTA belt to ass. I get it. Y'all are upset. How do we cancel act? I'm still the biggest. Pause. You can't cancel what you didn't build.
And again, the excuses, the defenses that I have seen have been just crazy, talking about.
I just gotta say that's bullshit. Kendrick bent Drake over his knee and spanked him. Drake was not the one taking belt to ass. It was the other way around.
Oh, you know, he's just like joking and being silly. It's not serious, so on and so forth. I'm sorry. Like, what?
That's literally what I said earlier about the kick dudes. Oh, it's a joke. No, it's not a joke. That's just an excuse you use to get away with, to like sweep it under the rug when you get caught doing something evil. It wasn't a joke. It was sexual predator behavior.
What's the joke here? What's the joke? If there's anything I fucking hate about the evolution of humor in the internet age over the past 10, 15 years, it's the complete and utter death of irony, because nobody uses irony anymore to be ironic, actually. No, irony is always employed in order to voice opinions and sentiments that you would be in hot water for voicing if you just genuinely express them. So instead, we just shroud them in like, oh, I don't really mean it, but like, what if you did this, or what if this happened, huh? Would you do X or Y or Z? Of course you wouldn't, unless, huh? Look, this video, what it's about, and the clips that have been incorporated here. It's all very what you see is what you get, because frankly, there is no excuse for this behavior. There's no excuse for these conversations.
Zero justification.
This engagement. Also, keep in mind, Akademiks is like openly transphobic and has even posted on Twitter that we got to keep stuff like, you know, transness and trans identity out of hip hop.
If I meet a man and he tell me that him being a man is a social construct, I slap the shit out of him. Yo, Big 45 and Big 47 don't want to hear none of that, man. All right? If your auntie's a man, if you got fingered as a kid, man, go talk to the therapist. For the next 4 years, we focusing on Bitcoin, Ethereum, locking the borders, telling Putin to chill the fuck out, and making sure China don't take over, nigga. That's what we focus on, bro. And only
is he a Trump fan?
Niggas don't get in female sports, beating their ass.
But apparently, like, what's cool and what's legit and what gets a pass is having sexual conversations with children. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Trans people.
It wasn't, honestly, like, some of the shit he said to that kid was kind of gay, to be honest. Like, not in a dismissive way. It's just like, he was talking about, like, the 15-year-old boy sucking it and stuff. It's like, what? And then he's gonna, I think he might be one of those transphobes or homophobes that is compensating for something, you know, like the bully basher in high school that turns out to be in the closet type thing.
Boo, bad, 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 ooh, bad, that's the worst. Yeah, instead, let's just jokingly pressure a 15-year-old boy into talking about whether or not he would screw your male friend. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Really cool. That's
exactly.
Awesome. That's like real dope. Again, I'm disgusted. I'm mortified. I don't really know what else there is to say. There's just no reason for this. It's disgusting, and it's especially brazen and worrying in an age where in politics, in music...
That's the link for the last video, by the way. I forgot to share it. I'll share the link for this video after the video.
There are just PDF file allegations abound, going in every direction. But while that paradigm that I just discussed is very much the case, sadly, also, we very much live in an age of society where, frankly, I think our biggest problem is that we just don't have any fucking shame anymore. People act upon and speak upon every single stupid fucking disgusting, vile, just ridiculous idea that pops into their dumbass head. There's no check, there's no balance, there's no second guess, there's no what if. It's all action and no remorse, and as a result, you have complete fucking freaks like this doing the unthinkable and taking advantage of a young mind at a distance in the weirdest, most gross way possible. This is just gross, 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 gross. And if there's anything that shouldn't be in hip hop, it's fucking this. All right, I'm gonna leave that there because I don't want it to go anywhere else. Let me know what you think down in the comments about all this. I'm sure you will. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out if you even want to do that right now. Anthony Fantano, this freaking crap. No. No.
The kids just want to play Fortnite, you fucking creep.
There's the link. Give the video a like, please. I'd say that was a Fantana W, to be honest. I have seen some of his videos that I didn't vibe with at all. I forget what it was. I actually subscribed to him for a while, and then he said some shit that pissed me off, so I unsubscribed. I'm not sure I'm ready to resubscribe yet, but I do enjoy his content, usually, even if I don't want to subscribe. I don't know if that makes any sense. He just says some really off the wall things, and I don't like. He's very good at being negative. Let's put it that way. And I don't want to be constantly exposing myself to all the negative content. I kind of grown up beyond that a little bit. Don't get me wrong. I think people need to be called out when they do fucked up shit, which is why I absolutely said Fantana W for that one, because that needs to be talked about for sure. All right, I am going to make some coffee. It looks like we literally just finished NAD, so that's unfortunate timing, because I could have done. By the time I get back, we're gonna be whatever. I need coffee. I'm feeling kind of weird today. My stomach's messing with me. You ever get that like tiredness behind your eyes? You know what I'm talking about? Where your eyes feel tired even though the rest of your... I hope I'm not coming down with something. Anyways, I'm going to make coffee and then we're going to play Marvel Rivals. I haven't... Please follow the instruction. What? Hold on, let me check to make sure. Okay. Let me... give me a sec here. I might poop when I go make coffee as well. Maybe that'll make my stomach feel better. I need to import... I guess my graphics card crashed earlier, so it reset my settings. Alright. I don't know why Marvel wants me to launch in GPU debug mode. It didn't have anything to do with the game. Yeah. Well, let's make sure that the drivers are updated first. That's it auto updates, so they should be. Yeah. I think that's the newest one. It doesn't have an option for me to update it. Yeah, so the drivers are up to date. So I haven't had an actual game crash. Which is funny because this never popped up the times I have had the game actually crash. Well, I guess it never crashed. It would just... There was once it hard froze on me. But we'll try it. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna worry about... I'm not gonna worry about launching in GPU debug mode unless it actually does crash. I changed the streaming, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna make that coffee. Oh, my stomach. I might take that poop too. I'm actually kind of tired. I just kind of want to lay down on the couch and pass out. Oh. And my neck is bothering me. I need a back massage. I don't want to get me a back massage. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna make the coffee. I don't know about... We'll figure that out once we're... Wow, it's still compiling shaders? What the hell? I didn't take the poop, but now I'm feeling like I should have. What is going on? What is going on with the game? I actually took probably the most massive poop of my entire life the other day, a few days ago. It was so massive that it clogged the toilet. And it's still clogged. I tried to deal with it with the plunger, and it had no effect except making a terrible, disgusting mess. It's like that shit's lodged in there like cement or something. Basically, I need a snake, but I don't have one. I've never seen just a poop clog a toilet before. It's always because someone's putting something in the toilet that's not supposed to go down it. Like, a big one that's common is those, whatchamacallit, the wipes. The, flushable wipes that aren't actually flushable. Those will clog toilets like crazy. Another one that I've experienced in the past is when I was in college, my sophomore year of college. I lived in an apartment called Towers. We were on like the 8th floor out of 13 or something like that. And we couldn't figure out why. Failure to reconnect after disconnection. You disconnected. Oh, is that what happened? I think the game just crashed on me, dude. That's your fault, not mine. Like, if this may lead to penalties if this behavior persists. What are you going to do? Penalize yourself for your own game fucking failing? That language kind of annoys me. It's your fault. Don't blame me for something that's your fault. Alright. Dancing Lions bundle. I don't care. I don't care about any of this stuff. I just want the exclamation points to go away. Is there like current stuff that I do care about? Let's see. But yeah. In college, we had an issue where our toilet kept clogging and we couldn't figure out why. Like, I swear to God, the maintenance guy was there once or twice a week. I had this roommate from Jersey. Quintessential Jersey dude. And like, I don't even remember how many times it was, but eventually, like, the maintenance guy was talking about how, like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this. And the Jersey guy was like, do you think I should stop flushing my condoms down the toilet? Yes, dude. Don't ever do that. Don't do that. That was clearly the problem. But I have never seen a toilet. I don't even use much toilet paper. Like, I use plenty. I wipe thoroughly. But I count out the number of squares to make sure I'm not overusing toilet paper for two reasons. One, I spent a lot of years as a general maintenance guy, so I've seen people that they clog toilets using just like an excessive amount of toilet paper. It's like, you've got enough toilet paper here to wrap someone up in a mummy. Why, as a mummy, why are you trying to flush this all down the toilet at once? The other reason is because that shit adds up over time. It can be kind of expensive. But I don't know what happened. It's just all clogged. I couldn't even force it through with the plunger. And I don't have a snake. And I can't afford to rent one right now. But I have a plan. I have this tool that's meant to clean out dryer vents, like laundry dryer vents, because that's actually one of the most common causes of fires is dryer vents. A lot of people will have lint get backed up in their dryer, and then all that hot air blowing out that vent, or failing to blow out that vent if it gets clogged bad enough, causes that lint to catch on fire. And so I've always been pretty good about cleaning out my dryer vent. It's like a long bending tube that you can screw a brush on the end of it. Basically, a similar idea to a snake, except for it's not metal. I guess you could probably get plastic snakes, but don't do that. If you're ever going to buy a snake, get like a real metal snake. But considering I don't actually have a snake, I'm thinking if I take the brush off of it and it like plugs into my drill. I'm thinking if I take the brush off of it and just stick the shaft down there and then turn the drill on, hopefully we'll be able to break it up and use the second toilet again. But anyways, I'm sure you all needed to hear that. I hope none of you are eating during that particular story, but we're gonna go play some games. Let's see what we gotta do for our challenges. Actually, let's look at the event ones first. Oh wait, the event's already done. We did all the event shit. What's this? Oh, the new event. Clash of Dancing Lions? We're not gonna do that yet. We're gonna warm up first. It's literally all Clash of Dancing Lions. Okay. So we gotta play that new game type. We're gonna look at that later. We'll just do quick match for now. I wanna get back into ranked and start grinding ranked so I can get to gold this season. But I don't want to do that when two things are happening. One, when the game's just freezing like this. And two, when I'm not exactly feeling well. What's going on? Did the game crash? I think my whole GPU's crashing. No. Because the website's still working. What is going on? The game's just struggling. Did it revert some of the settings I changed? Did it fix the problems I was having? I think I actually need to take apart my PC. Not necessarily take it entirely apart, but open up my PC. Blow out some of the dust. Make sure everything is seated correctly. And then do an OS wipe. Because it's kind of been struggling lately. I was hoping to wait until I finish painting to do the OS wipe. I need to finish getting all the videos uploaded. It's the big thing. Because I want to do like a full system wipe. Which means backing things up online. And then wiping everything else out. But I can't fit 30 10-hour streams on my Google Drive. Not that they're all 10 hours, but 30 streams up to 10 hours on my Google Drive. And there's like 30 streams on my hard drive right now. Don't worry, I'll load in time for us to win. The game is fucked right now. There's actually no way I can play if it's like this. In the loading menu, hopefully it's not like this once I get loaded in. I don't think I can quit though, because since it crashed last time, and it was yelling at me for it crashing. If I quit, it might yell at me for quitting. Because it thought I quit, even though it crashed. Oh, we're in. Okay. We have one healer. That's generally a losing combo. So, let's do... Is there a healer that synergizes with... we'll do this. We have a solid 2 frames per second, guys. Setting records. Oh, we dropped down to 1! New record! This is the same thing that happened last time I tried playing the game. Alright, it's working. Wait, it lagged out when I said it was working. We're just gonna say it's not as bad as it could be right now. Okay. Okay. Well, this is unplayable. Cool.
Destiny awaits.
It's literally unplayable. I tried to heal that guy and it just didn't even go off. I've never seen a team go around this way before. I love it. I got him? Okay, cool.
Some assistance, please. We are in this together. I'll patch you up.
I can't do anything! The lag is insane! What the hell? It's weird because ESO doesn't do this. People aren't killing the Ankh. I just keep getting ulted by fucking Moon Knight, and because the game lags out whenever I get ulted, I just can't survive it. Dude, our tank won't even leave the spawn. Okay. Fuck you! My game isn't even working, but I'm still kind of carrying. Damn it! He got away. If I wasn't lagging out, he'd be so dead. Oh, that's their Hela. What? I thought I killed her. How does that happen? Like, her body is literally right there, but she's still ulting us somehow. Okay, I was gonna say, they're just gonna let Psylocke walk into the middle of our group and not kill her? I hear footsteps back there. It's so laggy! Nothing I could do. It was only... Okay. So, Star-Lord did end up shooting her eventually. But it was the two healers trying to DPS Hela. I'm not even trying to do callouts right now, because the game's just too fucking laggy for me to play. And with it keep freezing constantly, by the time I make a callout, it might not even be relevant anymore. Dude, I like literally can't do anything, because by the time I take damage and try and activate an ability, I'm already dead. The lag is insane. I'm still getting kills though.
I am at your service. Down to 30 seconds. Cosmic might returns. Your powers are mine.
Nice, she didn't get anyone. Why do I keep taking so much damage? What do I keep taking damage from? Yep, nothing I could do about that.
I risen.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Well, that was rough. I can't. This game is unplayable right now. Holy shit! I can't even type in chat. I type GD and it type anything. That team. So two things happened. One, that team just didn't know how to play as a team. And two, one of the healers wasn't healing. And that healer was me because the game kept lagging the fuck out. I did as best I could. But I guarantee you when we see my stats, it's not going to be a lot of healing. It's going to be... Now, Adam Warlock doesn't exactly do a lot of healing, but it's not going to be enough. It was better than I thought, but still you can see lower than both of the other healers. Although 7 assists, the eliminations was low, but it's also weird getting eliminations with a Warlock. He's better at getting final hits than elims, but I mean, the problem was everything was just lagging out so constantly that even when I did try to aim at someone, they were just gone by the time I tried to hit them. I think... Look at that 40% accuracy though. I did less than 1k damage. It's just... The game's unplayable right now for some reason. I'm going to see if there's stuff in the menu I can change. Maybe if it got switched out. Maybe it's just a sign. The thing is, I restarted my computer before the stream too. I got an achievement. What was the achievement? I did nothing that round. What did I get an achievement for? Forge a soul bond with 3 allies from... Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah. Okay. I did forge a couple soul bonds. Settings? Is everything still bottomed out? I don't know why this is even... We can just change it to 60 because it never goes above 60 anyways. We can't turn that on. Okay. Everything's off, performance, or low. Maybe I change anti-aliasing. Let's see if that does anything. I'm gonna see if someone else has a suggestion. I think it's a PC issue. Maybe not a PC issue, but a combination of PC and Marvel Rivals. I'm pretty sure Marvel Rivals has memory leaks. And I don't think my PC is handling them well right now. I can't even open Task Manager. Normally it takes like 3 to 5 hours for the system to get bad playing Marvel Rivals. We're only at 88% memory. The disk is matched out. That's the problem. I've had this issue a couple times. I don't know what causes it. Of course, right as I say that, it drops down. Oh, you know what it is, maybe? Fucking Google Drive fucking my shit. Because that's what it... That's what that is, I think. HGD. Looking at my PC. D is the slow boy. And then H and G are the Google Drives. Now that I got rid of that, it's gone. We're still near max on memory. Let me see. Marvel Rivals is using almost all of it. We're going to sort by memory. OBS Studio is using a fair bit, but not that much. We're not... It's weird that it's stuck at exactly 88%. And it doesn't appear to be going down or changing at all. The Marvel Rivals memory usage is just not changing. Whereas everything else changes slightly. Oh, we don't need Spotify open. That will definitely save on some system resources. Do I need to close that in the system tray? It's not gonna let me close that in the system tray. So I guess we just force close it by ending task. Let's see. Marvel Rivals anti-aliasing. Let's see what they suggest for that. Fuck TAA on Reddit. Marvel Rivals best settings for best performance. Let's see if someone has a suggestion. I just went with AMD because that's what my card is. You ain't got that many largely different techniques to choose from performance-wise. If you don't want to force it off, then just use TSR. I only have, so weird, called Epic TSR, and then I have options to select quality. I'm just reading through a bunch of stuff real quick. People say they were using the Epic one. Apparently using full screen window helped too, but I find that difficult as a streamer, as someone who needs to tab out constantly. Let me close these other... I have all the streams up. So maybe that's not helping. Save on that, and then I'll just have the Twitch dashboard, and that's it. We can probably close Discord to save some resources. Where's Discord? Right there. Did I miss? I think I missed. There's a small area. Yeah, why would they do that? Why not just make the whole section clickable? But I clicked right there. Alright. Yeah, Discord shut off. Only got 2 browser windows up. We did get 2% memory back. We changed the anti-aliasing mode. Alright. We'll try one more game and see what happens. The new settings. Well, that was better so far. Last time we found a match, it froze as soon as it said match found.
I'm not judging.
Okay, we loaded in time this time.
I never wanted to be Iron Man, but it worked out for everybody.
We have 1 healer, I think, but I didn't see until we were loaded in. If we only have 1 healer, we'll go Warlock.
Trudy's going to get this all sorted out.
30 seconds before you attack.
Oh, but no, we've got Hulk. Never mind. Screw that. We've got the Hulk power up.
To a spider totem. Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder if they're like raccoon totems. Ha! My totem is a gun.
Okay, we just lagged into the wall. And we like, what? We lagged sideways. Why is Hulk so small?
4, 3, 2,
He looks so small.
to the mission area. Got it?
Why do I look so big? Whatever. Oh, it's laggy as hell. At least I don't need to aim with this character.
The mission area is close to capture now.
That's right, we only have 1 healer, so I ought to be careful. Actually, sticking close is the way to go with the rocket.
Control lost.
Because that's how I catch his balls. Just melt both tanks, because I'm Iron Man, bitch! What? How did it miss? Oh my god, it's so laggy. I thought I aimed it at the ground, but whatever. Looks like I didn't and I hit the wall. Penny. We have a classic Spider-Man, a whole 0 and 3.
The halfway point.
Like, why is it always Spider-Man?
It's spider time!
Squirrel Girl? The lag doesn't help, but I can't believe Squirrel Girl. I was so low, I didn't even realize how low I was. Okay.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Dude, the lag. I couldn't get out. The lag is so bad, dude. Like, even it's way better than it was. It's still not good enough, though.
Keep fighting until we have a winner.
Ah, the lag! I can't do anything because of the lag. I wanted to ult there, but I couldn't because I was frozen. What the fuck? I gotta see if it's my PC or if it's the game. I think it's probably a little bit of both. But it shouldn't be this bad. Dude, the fucking Spider-Man. The Star-Lord ain't doing great either. Why are Spider-Man always so bad? How is that even fun? How is it fun to go 1-9 in a match? It like makes his day that he got 1 kill. It makes no sense.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Hulk is a bigger hero than Banner.
Full gamma power, baby. Weapons bringing my stuff. Stomp some spiders.
Born again!
Double KO! Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. That's 3. The mission area is...
I was thinking of ulting at the beginning, but I didn't even need to.
Full gamma power, baby. There's another one down.
That shark is so low. Cool. We're way too far forward. We're just gonna get destroyed. Nice. It's almost like I could have anticipated that. I can't talk anymore. My brain is fried. That was just a terrible sentence.
All systems smash.
It's Spider time! Area. Keep going.
Maximum pulse. That put a spring in my step. I'll bet cannons and arguments. Toot sweet. Keep your tentacles on the armor, fellas. Stay.
Even as laggy as it is, I'm still cleaning up.
Double KO!
There's another one down.
Yes, Penny. Trickle. Oh, perfect. Waste your mind.
I empty the spider nest. All systems smash. That put a spring in my step.
Alright. Alright. Woo! What a comeback. Alright. We got this. One more round. We can do this.
I want to be led, I want to be in charge. Win-win.
I'm doing alright.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Spider-Man's finally getting a couple kills at least. Still pretty solidly negative, but the Star-Lord's doing better now that he switched to Moon Knight.
The battle starts in 5.
The thing is, like, the Spider-Man's really just like those eliminations are to his. They're probably mine and the Hulk's. But what can you do? When you have a Spider-Man, you just have a Spider-Man, you know? That's life. Dude, the fucking lag! I tried to ult way earlier when they were all grouped up and it just didn't happen. I'm so mad. What the fuck? How is Spider-Man losing to Squirrel Girl? That's such an easy matchup for him. I'm just cleaning up now. Oh, even when I lag out, I'm still picking up kills though. Who is shooting from behind? Yeah. I took damage from behind, I think. It's hard to tell when the lag is this bad. Oh damn, I kind of wasted that. I've been forgetting to use my missiles. I died to Squirrel Girl now. I guess she's kind of accurate with those. Oh, she hit the person beneath me. I was like, how'd she hit me with that? I was too low. And too far forward. Alright, we got this. Did he even get anyone? Nope. Fail. Bye, Jeff. Oh, that wall. Okay. I feel like the lag kind of screwed me a little bit with that ult too. It's so odd to ult when you keep lagging out. I can't even type in chat. Jesus. Alright, I think this isn't working. Can I please just type in chat? I don't know what's up with this game. Holy shit. Can I do... I want to do... It's so laggy. This is actually insane. What's that mark? Is that a model not loading in or something? Yeah. Shit's just not loading in. It won't let me switch to general. There we go. Oh, it was like at the corner of the chat. What is going on? Oh, I got MVP. How did I get MVP when I can't even play the game because it's super laggy? I can't even watch the MVP animation. Is it gonna load in so I can actually see what I did this match? This is insane. Oh, there we go. Okay, 22 final hits, 36 kills, 5 deaths. I understand. 47% accuracy. Hey, the Spider-Man eventually went positive. Look at that. That's a rare happening. Okay. This is insane. I can't even back out. So I think Marvel Rivals is not happening tonight. I want to try another game to see if it's the game or if it's my PC. I probably won't get a hard answer, but anything I get that's better than a black screen is acceptable. Do I just need to force quit the game? I feel like it's just gonna lag out if I Control-Alt-Delete right now. What if I tell Steam to stop it? Wait, something popped up. Yes, I don't care. It's online. There's no game data to lose. Okay, Steam killed it. Cool. So let's try a game I know should work, and that'll be ESO. It's probably not worth switching, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Just so people don't yell at me for being in the wrong title or come in when I'm no longer doing Marvel Rivals. Everything with the stream itself going all right. Everything with the stream itself. Oh god. All right. Let's see how ESO runs. And this is even with ESO kind of fucked up because all of my add-ons are out of date and they're gonna yell at me because they're out of date because my add-on manager hasn't been working. So far it's kind of smooth. I think I need to do a dungeon for the event anyways. I need to kill something. A boss of some sort for the event. So maybe we do that. I've done it with every tank But this guy, why'd I name him like an Argonian, even though he's not? It makes no sense. Are there name changes? There is. But they're only Crown Store. I figured they'd only be Crown Store. I have crowns. Maybe we change his name at some point. But which we'll do. No, we'll just do this tank. It's does the most DPS. So we'll get through the dungeon the fastest. And I want to get better at her rotation again. I used to play a lot of this tank. Play a lot of tank in general. But I don't remember any of my characters or how to play them. Alright. So we have a bunch of notifications. Oh. Cool. We have a bunch of mail, which means we sold a lot of things for gold. I can log in tomorrow and fix that. We're gonna do the Ritz while we're here. Because it's a force of habit, to be honest. Unless, well, we're probably gonna get Blessed Thistle. I always need Blessed Thistle. It's so hard to do crafting without ESO Plus. And crafting is one of the primary ways to make money in the game. Especially if you have a master crafter character like me. They're talking about... Oh, they're talking about fish. In guild chat. I was confused for a sec. It's got a weird name. I thought they were talking about body odor. Oh! The game doesn't seem to be lagging at all. I just wasn't paying attention and bounced off the wood. Yeah, I probably don't even need to do the dungeon to confirm my suspicions that it's mostly Marvel Rivals. There were options to like clear a special Marvel Rivals cache or something. So maybe we do that next time we play the game and see if that does anything. A lot of people think it's because the fact that it has its own launcher, which is the dumbest thing. Like if you're launching from Steam, you don't need a separate launcher. It makes no sense. Although it doesn't even... this game has its own launcher and it isn't causing problems. So I don't know. It's an older game, to be fair. Lower requirements. So that's why I said it won't answer the question 100%. But, of course we get Celine's. This is a long dungeon. No. You don't get to sit on my lap when you bite me, cat. We already went over that. This is a long dungeon. Hopefully we have... decent DPS. We got decent DPS. Cool. I didn't even realize that was a boss. I'm so tired. I'm weirdly exhausted. There's no reason for me to feel this tired. Maybe I'm as sick as my PC is. Wrong button. Alright. Do we... Yeah, we go this way. I keep forgetting to alt. I am that tired. Dude. What is dealing so much damage? I have never seen these bosses die so fast in my entire life. It's this guy on the front. Classed or something? Flash. He's an Arcanist. Okay, I heard Arcanists were OP. Alright. No chest? Alright. So. This game is running absolutely fine. That guy does a lot of damage. More than I've ever seen anyone do. Alright. Not the button I meant to hit. What about corn-based stuff? Bro, everyone's been talking about corn and bananas lately. I love this boss, actually. One of my favorite bosses. I was complaining about it being a long dungeon, but I've never seen this dungeon done so fast in my life before. That's the fastest I've ever seen this dungeon done. His DPS is insane. Both of them were pretty solid. That was wicked. We just teared right through it. All right. So let's go ahead and leave the group. Leave the instance. All right. That was... The dude did so much damage. I don't even want to know how. I guess Arcanist really is broken. I do have an Arcanist, but it's still level 7. I haven't really played it yet. One of the primary reasons is because doing dungeons gets you a lot of loot, which generally sounds like a good thing. But I don't really have the bank space to string dungeons like that right now, especially because I keep gear to deconstruct it. So I gotta figure out the ESO plus stuff. That's something I've been working on. We just did the one dungeon today to trigger the box. We have the box here, the event box. I think we already have the girdle. I'm not sure. We're about to find out. Yeah, we do already have the girdle. Can you only get certain pieces from certain bosses? Or is it just random? I'm not sure. Alright. We're doing the regular bank. Let's do the guild bank first. So, guild bank, we put in the learnable things and materials till we get our whatchamacallit, ESO plus back. Regular bank, everything else, it's gonna get deconstructed. As well as our random other things we pick up that we want to share between characters potentially. So what's up with the cat? He's like nipping at my leg now too. He's being an ass today. Oh, the river bait should go in the guild bank. So let's deposit the gold first while we're here in this bank. 320. I just heard a cat in game. The river bait. Alright. So I don't know what's going on with Marvel Rivals, and I don't feel like figuring out right now. I am oddly, weirdly tired. I may be coming down with something. So I feel like the play. What's that, Charlie? Really? He's annoyed that I won't let him on my lap, but maybe if you didn't bite me... No, get down. Bit me today. Don't get to chill on my lap when you bite me, dumb cat. I know you want to be up here, but you literally put a mark on my arm. I'm gonna have a scar. I'm kidding, I don't scar. I actually had... You can't see it. I don't know why I'm showing you scars that don't exist. But when I was working as a line cook, I once had a, like, basically boiling pot of French onion soup. Like a whole big pot of it. spill on my arm once. And I had a whole bunch of weird crescent-shaped burns where the onions stuck to me, and they're completely gone now. I thought I would have those burns forever, but there's no evidence that they ever existed. The only scar I have that doesn't completely go away is there's a scar on my ankle where I had ankle surgery from football practice. I had a tib-fib fracture, so they had to put metal screws in both of the bones in my ankle. And they were able to shoot one in, basically, but the second one, they weren't able to do it with a micro incision. So they had to, there was a nice little cut there for a while. And that there is still a scar there. It's not a very big one. All right, let's see. We are just going to throw you at one of my friends. I just have that head fog, you know? I really hope I'm not getting sick. I'm not gonna do the commands. Exclamation point socials if you want to see where to follow me. Exclamation point raid if you want to copy the raid command. Exclamation point sub raid if you're a sub and you want a command. Exclamation point Discord if you want to join the Discord, where you will automatically get notifications when I go live. I am going to raid my friend and go to sleep. And hopefully I feel better tomorrow and I can figure out what's going on with Marvel Rivals. Or maybe I just start... No, I don't have the brushes. I need the... I don't have... I can't start till Thursday. Because that's when the chemical I need is. Maybe I do start. Maybe I start working on the house tomorrow. And then we can worry about figuring out the PC later. I gotta adjust the stream setup so it's more mobile. And we can show me working on the house. But let's just go say hi to my friend Snow Ninja. I'm gonna sleep and hopefully I feel better tomorrow. Peace. Love ya.
I don't even know where the dude died at, so